Boom! We in here tonight, guys. We going hard in the paint tonight. We talking Bama hoops. We got JT, your host, in here tonight. And right here to my right, we got my man Herb in here tonight. How we living, brother?
Man, we are good. Miss you, Petty out there. Hope you're having a good time. But man, it's still a good time to be an Alabama. No matter what's going on this week, it's still good to be an Alabama fan.
Yes, it's always good to be an Alabama fan, guys. Been rough on the football side, but we're going to talk on a much better side here tonight, guys. Much lighter topic. It's going to be some good and great stuff to go for. But before we get to that, guys, we got to talk about our main sponsor here. And our main sponsor, guys, don't settle for subpar material. Check out Lambstone's company of natural selective products to meet all your project's needs. Lambstone is located in Oneonta, Alabama, and is one of the oldest, most trusted sources in the state. So contact them today. Tell them that the Bama Standard sent you, and you get 10% off your first order right here. Check them out right after the show, of course. And before we kick it off, Herb, who else we sponsored by here?
Well, you know I'm on the road, man. So it's kind of like a certain co-host we won't mention. I don't have my stuff with me, but you know what? Oh, that's a lie, right? That's a lie,
man,
right?
Always got it with them, man.
Man, I might forget my wallet, but I don't forget my title towel, man. Go check out those dudes at Whitwell Sports, man. They will hook you up. They got locations in Tuscaloosa. If you're like me, forget your title towel on the way to a game. Great guys, title towel, man. Go out, support the team, support those guys. It's a great product.
Yes, guys. And everybody in the comments, guys, make sure you like and subscribe. If you're watching us over on Twitter, X, whatever the young folks call it, come over to the YouTube channel, like and subscribe right here, guys. We're going to kick it off here tonight, guys. If you're in the comments, post in a question, something that you got, man, we'll touch that at the back end of the show. But we're going to recap what the Tide just had go on. Alabama versus South Dakota State. That was a great game, 105-82. We did drop the 100. Bama had a 34% at the 3 line. That was actually pretty good for where we've been. We haven't been shooting that hot. That one was all right. Got a little bit better. 3 players with 20 points or plus. And we'll talk about him in the minute of the show, man. But my boy off the bench now, man, Bruce Pearl just don't.
Wait. That's my boy off the bench. That's my boy.
Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right. All right, I'll get to Herb, boy off the bench. But can Bruce Pearl not coach, man? What is that? What happened there? Because at Bama, this man is going off. Well, first we get to that. We'll get to that in a second. But Herb, real quick, give me your initial thoughts on Alabama right here. Blows out South Dakota State, 105-82.
So something we talked about on the last show, man, was your last warm-up before SEC play, right? Didn't come out that great in the last one against when you played at Dakota. You kind of need to establish some things. It's the last time to real tinker with your offense and your lineups and stuff. So, man, I was happy with how they came out from the get-go. We were aggressive. We were hitting shots. We seemed to be in a good rhythm, man. So I was happy to see that without even just any individual performances, man. I love the way they started off the game.
Yeah, so the intensity was really good. I think the bench is what's making this Alabama team going to be a lot better. The bench is every game delivering with points, assists, rebounds. They're coming off. They're doing whatever needs to be done at that moment to get the game going. They don't just keep the score. If it's 82-72, they don't just keep it at like 84 or 86 by the time the starters get back in and expect them to build the lead back up. They'll run that lead up too. So that's, I think, something really good. I think you saw that in this game as well. Alabama got to a good lead, kind of kept it, ran up, but South Dakota State, right there too. They scored 82 on us. I mean, they were scoring too. But Bama dropping 105 points, that's great. I think to chalk this up, not to go too into the weeds on this game here, guys, because we're about to get into the gauntlet of the SEC, and we're going to talk about that at the end of the show as well. But the gauntlet of the SEC in basketball is going to be crazy. And I think getting these wins right here is going to be really good for us. And Herb, tell me real quick, do you think that Bama playing these teams right here we've played this month of December is going to help the Tide going forward in that gauntlet schedule?
Oh, 1000%. And I'm gonna go a step further with the point you're making. The good teams that you play, right? That really helps you get ready because you see the kind of gauntlet you're gonna take, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then the South Dakota states of the world help you because you realize, all right, I'm playing this one SEC team, right? That's not ranked, and I've just played Kentucky and Tennessee or whatever. These are those kind of games where you're like, hey, you still got to come out with that focus. You still got to come out with that same fire. So I love the way Nate Oates has set up the schedule with a good balance of high-profile teams traveling to some tournaments. I love the way the basketball coaches do it now. Let me get to every tournament I'm allowed to get to and see how many games I can get to. The ACC Challenge, that obviously helps. And you kind of see where we've moved in the thing where we're not going to play like the lowest ACC team anymore. They're moving us up to where, like, okay, we're going to match you up against a better ACC
Duke,
team.
North Carolina.
Yeah,
they're giving us the good ones now. Yeah.
So, no, man. And we talked about it. It's a byproduct of basketball. You can lose some games early and still be okay. So you come to this schedule like, you know, it's like, look, we didn't play great in the non-conference last year, but we were still ready for tournament time. So I love the way it sets up, man. I love the way it sets up.
Yeah, you know, looking back, just to touch on that, last year the tide was rocky, and that when everybody was expecting last year's Bama team early on was like, everybody had a lot of question marks, not expecting what was about to happen,
right?
Not expecting that Final Four run, not expecting some things that did happen. I think that's what kind of made it so magical too, because what happened in the preseason, or not preseason, but basically preseason, the first half of last year's season, and then the turnaround in the tournament was just Nate Oates and that team clicking. Got my man offside Jeff in the comments. What's up, brother man? What's up, brother man?
Good to see y'all.
And Zach,
and shout out to Zach.
Good point. Yeah, that's a great point right
Zach.
there.
Sorry, Zach.
Zach said OU might be unbeaten, but they haven't played anybody. I'm not scared. I'd rather sooner be done.
That's a dad joke. That's
definitely a dad joke. Oh, Zach, that's funny.
I appreciate that though. I appreciate
that.
But
I'm Zach. I actually have that. That's part of the topic when we break them down later on. Is about them. They're 13-0, but who have they played? We'll get to that one in a little bit. Cat Roll Tides in here as well, guys. Now let's put a button on this and we'll move forward because I really want to get to this next topic, and we're going to start doing this weekly now. But to move forward here, Bama caps off right here, out of conference with a W. Looks great, playing great, heading into the SEC gauntlet. I believe in Nate Oates. This is going to be a good one.
Yeah.
To move on to the next subject.
Real quick, JT, I do have one thing to throw out. We will throw one negative. I was not disappointed because he doesn't have all his legs yet, but I didn't like that Youngblood didn't shoot well because it's one of his last times to really kind of find his place in the rotation. And to kind of what you were saying earlier with the bench, you know, Diabate coming off the bench, Holloway and Youngblood, that's three great guys. And if Youngblood can find his legs, because that's a big dude, man. You know, that's one of those, I feel like if we go small, he can still slide in at kind of like the small forward, maybe power forward in a pinch, you know, just because of the body size. So I kind of wanted him to find his shot a little bit more, but it's tough. I mean, you can't miss that much time.
18 minutes, 18 for, let's see here, 5 points, 1 and 1, personal foul 1. So it wasn't foul trouble. 1 for 7 on field goals, 1 for 6 at the 3. So yeah, it was a little struggle there. You know, also I think the hot hand going to Aden, Mark Sears, and Phylon, you know, they were all hot. All of them are 20 plus. So, you know, I think that's another one. You know, but I'm with you.
He could be a running back if we needed to.
Yeah, must be a running back. Yeah, he that or a middle linebacker, definitely.
Yes.
He definitely could. I agree. That was a good game, though, guys. We'll put a button on that. Move forward to the next topic, guys. And this is one of my favorite. It's going to be something new we do every week. Player of the week, guys. Aden Holloway right here. This is Herb's boy. Herb, take it away about Holloway, man. Just break them down real quick for us. Last game was 31 points. You know,
Yep.
No, not 31. 31. No, 26, 2 and 1, 27
26, 2 and 1. Yeah, 27. Yeah. You're good. I was so excited. I was just agreeing with you, even though I just looked at it. But no. And let's just to tell everybody, one reason why I've been kind of touting Holloway all year is just because he's coming off the bench. We've given a lot of love to Phylon. We've got a lot of love to Sears. Rightfully so. Take nothing away from those guys. But you made the perfect point earlier. You love to see a bench guy come in who can, at the worst, sustain what you're doing, and at the best, push you to the next level. Plus, also a guy, with Phylon and Sears, who's going to slide into a lot of finishing lineups. I think he can get more aggressive still. Holloway can, but he's clearly got the outside shot. He can clearly get to the rim when he wants to as well and finish. And he's still not. I mean, you see a lot of shots here, but he's still an unselfish player. From what I've seen, he looked for the pass a lot when he drives.
So Aden, if you was talking about it right here, I was actually pulling it up. I was trying to look because I couldn't remember what how many games he played like at Auburn. It was 35 games he actually played in at Auburn, but he's played 13 at Bama. Through 13, he's averaging 20 minutes, 42% from the field, 37% from the three. And he said, I mean, you're looking at 10 points right now a game as well. I think that's something that's really good. That's something that's good off the bench. Getting 20 minutes off the bench is good too. That's telling you right there that he's playing a good bit in the first, second, well-rounded, depending on what the team needs, what's going on with the team. I think this is a good one here. I'd had to highlight. I said shadow. Highlight him this week. We talked about that. He's definitely the player of this week, man. The dude looked good. And I think if you go back to it, maybe he just didn't fit in at Auburn because the man's hooping here at Bama. And I think that right there alone is what is going to help propel this team off the bench.
Man, and you don't see often guys transfer and be okay with bench roles. Most of the time when you transfer, you're like, I want to be a starter. He seems perfectly happy. And I feel like Nate Oates talked to him like, hey, you might not start. You're going to get your minutes. You're going to get your shots. And I think he was okay with that. So, yeah.
I think he's good too, man. And that one of the biggest thing with the shots there, I think you'll get that. But also, like when Sears isn't on a night, he could be on. He could be the one making these shots. If Phylon isn't on a night, he could be on one making the shots. So that's something right there. If you think about it, it's going to be able to help. It's going to be able to push this team to that next limit. And also, this SEC gauntlet is about to be wild because there's so many ranked teams in the SEC right now. It is unreal. Let's see here. Alabama, Arkansas, Auburn, Florida, Kentucky, Mississippi State, Oklahoma, number 1, Tennessee, and Texas A&M too. So, I mean, that's literally, I can name more teams that are not ranked. I mean, less teams that are not ranked in the SEC.
I want to give you this one real quick because this is one of your guys. And this is something we kind of talked about last week, actually, Jeff. You don't necessarily need a great SEC tournament run. So we were actually talking about this last week. I think your strength of schedule and what you play out through the whole year, and we kind of all agreed on it, that's what's going to get you in the tournament. The SEC tournament might be great, but I think you're going to see some of those lower guys in the SEC tournament fighting a little harder, trying to improve their seeding. But if you're coming out the SEC tournament and they're thinking you're going to be a 1 or a 2 seed or possibly a 3, I don't think you're sweating it all that much. So the rest will definitely be better. But we did address that last week as well.
Yeah, we talked about that when we talked about the tournament, and I think that's what I brought that up actually because the tournament, how much does the SEC tournament dictate the NCAA tournament? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It does some. It does seeding and stuff like that, but I'm saying like what actually, if you win it, what necessarily does that, like we've seen years where we haven't done so good at it and then make a Final Four run. Years we win it and get first rounded, so that's why I'm like not too worried about that. And I said I think we'll lose that and then we will go in the tournament and make a good run.
Okay.
It's too early to call anything on that right now. Like basketball is not like football for real. When you say, mid-season, you're like, yeah, they're gonna make a natty run or they're gonna make a, you can say somebody might make a tournament run, but like to call a national champion right now in basketball, that's tough to even.
It is.
That's a shot in the dark.
Your ranking means so little right now. That's why it means so little right now.
Now, after the next month and a half, next month and a half, you're going to start seeing that ranking start meaning a lot more. You'll be all right, cool. We're shaking down what's what now. We're getting conference play. You get into the nitty gritty. You get into the conference tournaments. I think when we get to the conference tournaments, that's when the cooking's going to get hot, and it's going to lead right into the March Madness. I think that's going to be good too. So We'll talk about that one kind of on the next show. I kind of talk about that, but we'll move forward real quick, guys. But before we do that, real quick, let the people that are in here know, Herb, what you was in here waving around a minute ago, man.
Towel, the must-have if you're an Alabama fan. Like I said, I'm not even at home right now, but I make sure I travel with that everywhere. Will Sports, man, good guys there. They will make sure you get taken care of. We've even helped out a couple co-hosts get theirs as well. But, man, great product, great support. Support them, support the university, man. Appreciate them always. Always carry my Tidal towel. JT thought you were going to catch me slipping today, didn't you?
Will Sport. No, man, I know you ain't slipping, man. I know you ain't slipping. You always on game, baby. Zach, LSU fan. He said, Zach, LSU fan, Whitfield. He said, I know we won't be B-ball, but let's celebrate the Bama wannabe.
Zach has been on it
man, that's a good one, bro.
Yeah. And Zach said he lost a bet to an LSU fan in a tournament game or something like that. That's why his
name is that.
Yeah, his name is LSU fan.
I was wondering. I was about to say LSU fan, but Alabama Crimson Tide. Okay, but hey, it is what it is, man. 2025. So let's roll on to the next topic, guys. This will be a 2-for-1 right here kind of deal. We'll do Oklahoma, and then on the back half, we'll do South Carolina as well. Oklahoma, guys, ranked 12th in the country, 13-0. But that 13-0 is kind of an eggshell because who have you played? When you play somebody hard, that's good, and how's that? How your cookie gonna crumble? How's it gonna be here? So. I think Bama needs to come into this game. I'll kind of give my 2 cents. I'll pass over to you, Herb. I think Bama in this game, due to the fact they haven't played hardly any great competition, attack. Sharks in the water. Attack. Soon as it press, as soon as things happen like that. And I think that right there is going to be something that's going to be able to make them turnovers right there, especially full court pressing or just even half court man, strong press on them because they hadn't seen this type of talent. It's going to be different. Jump up on a lead on them, kind of push them down, and kind of keep going. So I think that right there will help the Tide kind of propel that win against Oklahoma.
Agreed.
Herb, how are you feeling about it? Let me know your thoughts.
I definitely feel good about the game. It's like you said, you look through their schedule. Beating Arizona doesn't carry as much weight this year as it might have in past years since they're a little bit down. Having said that, what is this? Your home opener? You still gotta come out strong, but you just don't feel like. Don't think like we're thinking where you can maybe overlook an opponent. Excuse me. I feel like Alabama comes out strong. We match up way better than them. They got a couple guards that score, and I know one of them you want to address in a minute. We'll hold off on that. But other than that, they're just not a team that maybe scares me top to bottom like ours. I feel like our depth will run them out of here for sure. So I think if you play your game, you're good in this one.
Yeah, I think so too, and I also think that I'll kind of talk about it right here. But you got the matchup. Everybody's going to talk about in this Oklahoma game is Fears versus Sears.
You've been waiting for that one, folks.
They got Fears. All right, they're averaging 18.1. My man's averaging 18 a game right here. Now I know there's more people on the team. Obvious things. I get that. These two guys right here, when they go, the teams go though. That's a big thing. So if he goes, they're going to go. We shut him down. Now, this is the thing this year I think is a little different. Last year, if you shut Sears down, Bama probably a 60 burger that night. And if we don't play good defense, we're out. All right. But this year, that's where we just talked about them off the bench. You got one off the bench. You got 2 off the bench. You got foul line playing 2 now. So we got other guys that can score. Other guys play defense and stuff too. So, 4 guys off, we got guys that can play.
Yeah.
They have as not many as players as ball players as we do.
Not
so
as
I
deep,
think this is
sure.
going to be interesting. Yes, not as deep. So this will be very interesting to see as this goes on right here. I'm going to go ahead and call it out real quick. Give me Sears for 24 points.
Yep.
Give me 6 assists, 4 boards. I think my man's going to get it. 24-6-4. I think my man's going to get it. Put it in for your parlays, guys. Check them in on Prize Pick. Baby. The man's going to hit this weekend. So yeah, and I don't go too much into the Oklahoma. That's at 5 p.m. if I'm not mistaken, Central Time. Yep, on Saturday. SEC Nation is going to be SEC Network's going to be covering that. I said Nation, same way. SEC Network's going to be covering that one. I think that's going to be the game, guys. And before we come on the show next week, there's a game on Wednesday. So we're going to go ahead and cover that real quick, guys. Alabama versus South Carolina. South Carolina has 3 losses, guys. They've actually played a couple of these teams. They lost to Indiana, which was good. They lost to Xavier as well. And the other team was like, I can't even remember, it was like a nobody team. But those are the Xavier and Indiana were the 2 good teams they played that they did lose to. This is a 6 p.m. game on Wednesday, SEC Network. Yeah. North Florida, yes. That's why I said I couldn't remember who it was. North Florida got them by like 3, I think. So that's a good – that was, South Carolina has played some competition, but they have lost to it. So I think that's where we're going to match up pretty well with them as well. They got different guys. They have a guy, number 30, Colin, 16 points a game.
Yeah,
he's doing pretty. Mm-hmm. Yep, I was looking at him. He's pretty good too. And if you look at him, he's 64% from the field. So I think that is huge. Field goal, for a free throw, though, 69. And that's where if you look at Sears, he's 80% from the free throw line. So getting Sears on the line is good. If we foul Colin, you got a better chance of fouling him if he's got that easy, boom, right here. Zach said 23, 10, 12. Okay, he's going for the triple-double. Okay, that's huge. But yeah, that's a huge one there. So South Carolina's a good team, guys. But like I said, the Colin guys, he leads them in rebounds, leads them in points, leads them in blocks as well. This guy plays a lot. He's a forward. You're going to see him play the 4, the 2. He can probably play
6,
the 1.
8, yep.
Yeah, he could play almost anywhere on the court, 1 through 5 for real. I've seen him handle the ball a little bit. I hadn't watched as much, but I've seen him handle the ball a little bit. So that's going to be good too. Herb, give me your thoughts. South Carolina game preview. How are we feeling about that Wednesday?
Yep. And lost and all that. They did have that great overtime win against Clemson in the ACC Challenge. So
yeah,
little shout out to them. South Carolina is one of those teams that we've been talking about for a while that got a couple of decent players, but the tendency is going to be to overlook them. You had to head to Texas A&M after that game. So this is one where, again, I feel like the talent of Alabama is better. I feel like we can overwhelm them. Like I know they said we're talking about what we call 6'8" forward, can shoot a little bit, move around. I feel like we've got enough bodies to throw at him and slow him down. And I just don't feel like once our guards get going, they're another team that can hang with them. There's probably only going to be a couple teams where I'm like, like your Tennessees or Auburns of the world, where I'm like, all right, here's the matchup you really got to dive into. South Carolina is almost one where I trust in Oates and the guys to kind of run them out of the gym.
Yeah, man, and I'm with that too. That's where I think that's honestly, Bama gets Oklahoma good. I think that'll be good motivation going into the South Carolina game. If we get popped in an Oklahoma game, not saying we're going to lose the South Carolina game, but I think that'll make me a little more wary on it, because this SEC competition is going to tell a lot. Even though we have played Houston, the North Carolina, I get that. We have played some competition. We haven't played no nobodies. Rutgers, there's no snub to snub your nose up at either with their lottery pick guys. They got their
2 yeah.
2, Rutgers, yeah. Arguably the 2 best guards in the country. Not just guard. I think one's ain't he like a small forward and a guard or something?
Yeah, you're talking 2 top 5 guys.
They can play anywhere on the court too. Almost just.
How did Rutgers end up with both of them?
Don't know. Got both of them. That's probably why Cliff left. Cliff was like, "Hey, I know what y'all about to do. Y'all about to hoop out here. I'm finna go to Bama." But that's another thing. We hadn't even got to where we're using Cliff like that too. And I think you're going to start seeing him in this types of game. Here's when you're going to start seeing him show up in these SEC games where we got to get down there and bang for boards. Got to get down there. Got to get that offensive board for that second putback. Got to get the defensive board so we can push the ball down the court, get up. So that's where I think you'll see a lot of Cliff. A lot of fans have been upset about that, Herb. I don't know if you heard anything about that. You heard about that?
It's you talking about because of his lack of touches or his lack of?
Well, just lack of performance, touches, all that, man. Just kind of how he is.
But we're a guard-oriented system.
I do too.
You know what I mean? We don't dump the ball down almost ever. I feel like he knew that coming in, and maybe Nate Oates has some packages that he's holding back for him. But I can't blame anything on him. I think he and Diabate both have been tough for us. I think they've been rebounding well, and there's a lot of intangibles that they bring. Just sometimes just being a presence around the basket. I see a lot of movement from those guys when I watch them on the court. It's just not going to translate to stats. But I feel like a lot of your basketball fans right now are still scoreboard watchers. So they're probably not even watching the game, but they're looking at the thing. How come Cliff only has, 3 shots? Well, how many times are they passing the ball? It's most of the time it's lobs inside, or dump off real quick when I'm driving to the hoop. But how many plays do you actually think we run for Amori in a game? 0? -1?
Yeah, like actual dialed up plays. Yeah, so I get what you mean. Like it's like, hey, this is for the big man post. We're going inside here. I think that's a spurt of the moment. I think it's kind of like the RPO decision necessarily when they do the pick and roll, type deal, or when they roll off like that and the guy's cutting to the basket. Depending on where this guy is, depends on if I pass him the ball or not. If he's playing Cliff, then I'm going to the hoop. If he commits to me, I'm probably about to dish it here, or I'm about to look somewhere, or go up strong with the foul. Because most of the time, when you're in that heat of moment right there, going up strong gets you the foul almost every time, especially with a little bit of LeBron. And I call it LeBron. And when you go up and you one of those
and right you fall there, over.
Yeah, you just go like.
If Raj is out there, he's probably mad at you right now.
Yeah, well, JB's going to see this and be like, man, JT.
Yep, they both gonna be hating.
I got some boys at work, man. When you get on that whole LeBron talk, man, they ride for LeBron. This one dude, man, they I didn't realize how much of an effect LeBron had on some of these people. Oh my God,
you got to be careful. Watch
LeBron
what you say.
got him in a chokehold. Yeah, hey, I don't hate on LeBron, man. He's a beast, bro. I'm MJ though.
Yeah,
I'm
MJ all day.
Guy. MJ all day. But I mean, we could talk about some greats too. We're getting a little off subject, but it's okay. It's a basketball show. We talk about some greats. Larry Bird's one of the greatest too now. I don't care what nobody says. That man played lefty a whole game lefty. And I think dropped like 30 points lefty.
Just to prove that he could.
What? Just to prove that he could. Oh my God, that is saucy. If somebody nowadays, imagine if they had Twitter back then when he played and he came out and said, I'm about to go lefty all game. Imagine how Twitter would have been back then. They'd have been like, that's groovy. Hashtag groovy.
Hashtag groovy.
But yeah, so that's about it for tonight, guys.
All right. Do you want to just throw this one real quick? Both basketball teams. Shout out to the women, man. Great start to
definitely.
I won't post the other one just because somebody already mentioned that they recorded the game, so we won't spoil anything for you. But the women are off to a great start. Definitely deserve our support as well.
Yes,
ranked number 19 in the country.
Yeah, shout out to the women. I've been seeing a lot what they're doing, guys. They are hooping. They're getting some good players and recruits too. So do follow that, and that's something we might add to the show. We might add the ladies hoops to the show a little bit. And
did you just say we're going to add some ladies to the show? All right.
No, ladies hoops. No, don't say that because my wife might be watching. Don't say that. Don't say that. No, Mia. No. But guys, follow me at I am Glaze, all social medias, guys. Follow me on TikTok, also Roll Tide Nation. My man Herb right here. Tell him about your podcast and what you and your bros do, man.
I'll also tell you, man, I got a spot on the couch if I got you in trouble. But Herb and Raj podcast, you probably saw Raj in there commenting as well. Check us out on Twitter at Raj_Herb. Look on the YouTube channel. Check us out, all our videos. And then right here every Thursday night, 7:30, going hard in the paint.
Yes, sir. So, guys, y'all have a good one. Cat Center, Cat said Herb. Y'all have a good one, guys. Won't give us about nothing but the Tide, baby.
Roll Tide, everybody.